What's up, everybody? So today I've been getting a lot of questions about the water wicking system, and I'm going to show you a simple water wicking bucket just made out of trash. The only things that I've bought with this system is the landscaping fabric and garden soil and the tomato plant, honestly. But you don't have to just plant tomatoes in a system like this. You can plant peppers, squash, whatever you want. But I've had people tell me I just don't have space to grow a garden. If you got space to put a 5-gallon bucket, you got space to grow your own food. So I'm going to show you all this simple system, just give you a rough rundown and show you that you can just make it just out of trash. So let me readjust the camera and I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, so here's what I'm going to be using to make this. This is just a 5-gallon bucket that I found around the house that doesn't have any holes to it, so it'll hold water. But your basic things that you're going to use, a 5-gallon bucket. I went and I've taken a whole bunch of Pepsi cans. You can use beer cans, you can use whatever. Just what you want is something that'll hold that dirt up, and you can kind of see if I can get it in the camera here. I've got the bottom of this bucket full of these cans, and let me come up there real close where you can see what I've done. I drilled a hole in the bottom, and you already got a hole in the top. So around the edge, I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I drilled holes all around through it to where water and air can move through these cans. So I've got all that in the bottom. It actually took about 11 cans to fill up the bottom of this. The other part of it is your pipe. You're going to put a piece of pipe there. And again, this is just an old piece of PVC pipe that I found around the house, and I drilled holes around the bottom where water can move around. But that goes right here. Now the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paint pen and I'm going to come about an inch above the top of these cans and just put a mark right there, and take one of my drills, and this is just going to be a guide hole. I'll have to take my pipe out probably, but I'm going to put a hole. It doesn't have to be precise, but I want to put a hole right there and make it a little bit bigger. It's actually a metal bit. It doesn't want to do it that well. There we go. But like I said, it ain't nothing precise. But put that in there, put my top pipe back, and then I've cut a piece of landscaping fabric it's about 3 foot wide, so I made it about 3 foot long, so it's 3 foot square. And that's going to go in the bottom. And I was thinking about it a while earlier, probably if you had an old pillowcase, just something that the water can move through, you could probably take an old pillowcase and stick it there and then fill that up with your dirt. But I'm going to put this dirt, again, it's Miracle-Gro garden soil, but what I didn't go over is why I put that hole right there. And this is going to be outside, and what that's going to do is that's going to prevent your plants from getting overwatered. Like it'd be out here in the rain, and that bucket will fill up with water before too long, before that tomato plant can drink it all. So that is kind of an overfill hole, so it lets all that excess water run out. Whenever you're watering, you go and you pour your water in this pipe. That's what the pipe's for. And as soon as you see that water start coming out the hole there, you know you've put enough water in. So again, this is just a simple system. You give me just a second, get all this dirt put in here and get it flattened out the way that I want it, and then I'm going to plant this little tomato plant and give you a few little other tips that you could use, and then we'll go down to the garden right quick and finish out the video. So give me just a minute to get this bag open and get all my dirt in there, and we'll get this plant started, and I'll show y'all what else we got going on. Alright, so y'all can see I got my dirt in here, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take some Epsom salt. Now when I was a kid at my other grandparents' house, my grandma, she was the gardener because my grandpa had a stroke when I was about 2, and she had Epsom salt all over the place. And I really just thought it was because of old people, but there's a lot of uses for Epsom salt. But Epsom salt, not like regular salt, because Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, and what you're wanting is the magnesium. But you take a tablespoon of that and put it in the bottom of your hole whenever you're going to plant your tomatoes or whatever, or peppers or whatever, and just knock a little bit of the dirt down there on top of it. And then we're going to take, this is a little cherry tomato plant that I got from a greenhouse not far from here near West Oak High School called Glick's Greenhouse. And I found out I've been buying my plants at the wrong place because I've been going to Lowe's and Home Depot, and I should have been going there because it's a whole lot cheaper and they got good plants, and I always try to buy local. And I'm going to take my little tab there, stick it. These tabs have a lot of good information on them, but I'm going to plant my tomato plant just like that, and this is just a cherry tomato for me to do the video with, and we're going to plant that right there, and we'll put water in it here in just a little bit. And I'm probably going to have to move all these to up under the carport tonight. We're supposed to get a frost. All the way in May we're supposed to get a frost, but weather's crazy right now. But I'm going to show y'all some of the other stuff that we got going on and give you a few more tips and show you the water wicking buckets that we've had the last 2 years and the tomatoes that we got growing in there. We're going to have tomatoes here for too long on them, but let me show you that right quick. Alright, so here's what we got going. Let me give you an update on the other water wicking bucket. If you can see, let me turn this down. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll see the picture where we got lettuce growing in that bucket. Check that out, it works. But right here's our tomato plants that we've had in these water wicking buckets. They're a little bit bigger buckets, but see, they're pretty good, doing good. So I'm going to take you down to our garden now and show you some of what we got going on. Well, our raised bed gardens, we actually kind of got 3 gardens kind of growing. We got the 2 garden beds, and then down below the hill we got a big garden spot tilled up with corn growing in it. We'll see how that goes, corns and beans, and it's part of a 4-H project that we got the kids going in. I don't know if Cole's going to do it, but Aubrey seems to be enjoying it. But they sent beans and zinnias, and they've got to grow their own garden. So if you haven't looked into the 4-H, if you got kids, look into that. That's they got a lot of good programs. Aubrey's already gone through one program, but check that out. But just to show y'all, we got peppers in this one, and we got marigolds. And if you look, you'll see we got marigolds growing in and around our peppers, and there is a reason for that. Marigolds uh, will deter bugs. So we put those out to kind of keep the bugs away. We still got some more we're going to put out through here. But the other thing that we're using for bugs is neem oil. And I meant to bring that down here with me, so I'm probably going to have to stop the video here in a minute when I get done, and I'll go over the neem oil and then we'll close out the video. But the other one I wanted to show y'all, this is my wife's project. I'm not taking credit for this at all. She's been real interested in hydroponics. So we got a cucumber growing in a hydroponic bucket. And what that means is, if you look right here, it's got this lid on it. Now I'm going to unscrew this lid. You can see that all that is a cucumber plant and a solo cup wired in there with flex tape. But that's disgusting, I know. But that water in there has got fish fertilizer in it. And she cut that, golly, that smells awful. But she's got netting taped to that, and then it sticks down in the water. And the roots will eventually grow through that mesh, and the roots are just going to sit in water with this fish fertilizer. And again, you can buy this stuff at Tractor Supply. It's good stuff and all natural, and it won't burn your plants up. It's a 5:1:1 ratio, but it's an all natural fertilizer. You pour that in the water with that wide hydroponic system, and it fertilizes and feeds your plants, because your plants need two things. They need food and water and oxygen. Well, there's three things then, but that's what you need, all you need for a hydroponic system. It's pretty easy, pretty neat stuff. And these are not things that we came up with on our own. There's a YouTube channel out there called Gardening with Leon. It's an old man out in Oklahoma, and he uses salt buckets that you use for cattle and horses, and that's what he makes his water wicking buckets out of. That's where I watched him and figured out how to do this, and he's the one suggested using just whatever. And you can use, you ain't got to use cans. You can use anything that'll allow water and air to move through the bottom of that bucket, and basically you just water them from the bottom up. And so we got our Cherokee purple tomatoes here, and I've got to go get the neem oil, and I'm going to spray them down and then go over the rest of the garden. So y'all give me just a minute, run back up there and get that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So this is that neem oil, and you'll see this. I bought this at Lowe's. You can buy it at all sorts of different places, but it's a natural anti-bug, anti-fungal. It says 3-in-1. Mildew, spider mites, takes care of all that stuff, especially aphids. And I've been having a little bit of aphid problems, and so I'm going to spray my tomato plants down with this stuff. And it says spray top and bottom, so I'm going to spray on top right now, and then after the video I'll get to underneath. But I'm going to spray my Cherokee purples down with it, and then get the other stuff up there, up top in the water wicking buckets too. But actually I think I need to do that today, because we're going to have to put all that stuff up tonight. But you can see next we got our squash. I'm just going to spray this stuff down good. And then we got peppers over here, and I got some cucumbers over there that I got to plant somewhere. I'm still working on that. All these black ants, I'm telling you. Haven't had anything really bother our Brussels sprouts, and we actually like Brussels sprouts. A lot of people hate Brussels sprouts, but I'm telling you, you take some Brussels sprouts and cut them things in half, and then get some asparagus, cut that in half, and saute it with some bacon. That's some good stuff, I'm telling y'all. Y'all try that. That way you get all your vitamins and stuff that you need to grow big and strong. But we got our zucchini, some of our zucchini, and that spaghetti squash just not doing it. I don't know. My okra kind of died on me. So we're gonna replant okra, but this cabbage right here needs to be sprayed down real good. I can see our cabbage, but so far everything's actually doing pretty good. Over there on the other side, I'm gonna show you, we got Aubrey planted potatoes, and they're coming up real good. So let me go over here to the other side right quick. Y'all can see these potatoes, and we got other bell pepper. We got about every color of bell pepper you can think of: greens, reds, yellows. I even picked up a purple bell pepper plant yesterday. So we'll see how those do. I've never really had a whole lot of luck with bell peppers, but we'll get there. Oh, I'm going to be doing a video here before too long. I'm getting my stuff together, but I wanted to do a video on natural herbal remedies like dandelions and this stuff right here. See if I can get it. This right here is called broadleaf plantain, and I'll be doing more on a video later with it. But that broadleaf plantain, a lot of people don't know this, but that stuff, if you get like bit by fire ants or stung by a murder hornet or a bee sting, you go and you take that stuff and crush it up real good and put it on that sting or bite mark or even a scrape or something, and it'll take the sting right out of it and has some healing qualities to it. But I'm going to be doing some stuff on that, dandelions, and some other just stuff that you just find in the yard. So y'all stay tuned for that. I don't know when I'm going to get that out. I'm still working on getting all my materials together. That may be a long video, but I'm hoping to get that, and I think people might enjoy that. So I'm going to do that here too long. I'm not a doctor, and I'll reiterate that. I'm not a doctor. These are just things that I've been told growing up, and things that I've done my research on internet about. So I mean, I'm not an expert, but we're going to look into this stuff, and I encourage people to go and look themselves. But I've got some garlic. It hadn't come up yet right over here. I want to do a video later on too about stuff that you can just buy in the grocery store, and then you can turn around and seed it in your garden just buying it in the grocery store, like celery, potatoes, garlic, things like that. So I'll be doing that eventually. I don't know when, but I'm going to try to do that. But Aubrey's potatoes, you can see them coming up right there. We grew potatoes in a barrel last year. I think I've been doing some research. Next year we're going to do it a different way with like chicken wire, and that'll be coming next year. I think I may be too late to grow them this year, but we may still do it. I don't know. It depends on if I can find other things to have a video about. But we got little beans right here that my wife grew or sprouted in our little greenhouse setup that we got in the basement. And so I'm going to spray them down, keep them from getting eat up. But with that being said, I mean, there's so much that I want to cover in videos, and I hope I get to, but I'm going to try to stick to my schedule. Again, I know this one's going to come out today. It is Friday, so this is going to be hot off the press. I wanted to get Wednesday and Friday. Nothing came out Wednesday, so I'm going to try to get this one and the other video out today on some stuff with chickens, and the next one will be rabbits. So, and I've got some stuff coming that should be here in the next day or two that I'll show you, little cheats or whatever you want to call them. I am getting a new rabbit. I'm going to visit my mom in Easley because Sunday is Mother's Day, and I am going to get a new rabbit today. So that'll probably be in the rabbit video coming out next. But just wanted to let y'all know that we hadn't forgot about you. We're still going strong. And with that being said, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. We love you.